Count Dooku's first real brush with the dark side didn't come from the Sith, but from something hidden inside the Jedi Archives. The most unsettling part is that a Jedi put him on this path. Before we start, let me know, do you want to see more of Dooku as a Jedi before his turn to the Sith? The journal that opened the door. This all starts when Dooku was still an initiate, years before anyone would associate his name with betrayal or tyranny. 2 years after an earlier Force vision on Sereno, involving a Tirataka, Dooku is studying in the Jedi Archives alongside his close friend Sifo Dyas. During one of those sessions, Sifo reveals something he shouldn't have. He's come into possession of the journal of Cleas Teradine, a Jedi who is believed to have been expelled from the Order, but had actually perished at the hands of another Jedi Padawan. That journal doesn't just contain fringe ideas or heretical philosophy. It directly references something called the Bogan collection, a hidden vault within the Jedi Archives that houses dark side artifacts the Order has confiscated over centuries. This is where Dooku's curiosity shifts from theoretical to personal. The idea that the Jedi are actively collecting and hiding Sith weapons, scrolls and relics doesn't sit right with him, and Sifo Dyas, who already believes the Order needs to understand the dark side more directly, pushes the issue further. He convinces Dooku they should see the collection for themselves, not study it officially or to ask permission, but to break in, and Dooku agrees. Breaking in to the Bogan collection. The Archive of Forbidden Artifacts isn't meant for Padawans, or even most Jedi. It's prevented by both authority and technology, including a magnetic lock designed to prevent unauthorized access. Dooku bypasses it using sand levitation, a refined application of the Force that lets him manipulate particle matter with precision. It's an early sign of how naturally controlled his power already is. Once inside, they see exactly what the Jedi have been hiding. Darkside weapons, ancient scrolls, objects steeped in corrupted Force energies. This isn't a rumour or theory anymore. The dark side is catalogued, preserved, and stored behind temple walls. And then Dooku feels something he recognises. Among the artifacts is a piece of metal that resonates with him through the Force, connecting directly to the same Tirataka presence he encountered years earlier on Sereno. The sensation is immediate and invasive, as if something on the other end has noticed him again. This time, Dooku reacts. Fear surges through him, and he lashes out instinctively through the Force, hurling Sifo Dyas across the room and into a cabinet. The noise alerts Chief Librarian Rastelli Quist, and the break-in is exposed. Dooku doesn't leave that vault with answers. He leaves questioning why the dark side calls to him. Disappointment, debate, and a deeper problem. Sifo Dyas is taken to the infirmary for his injuries, and both initiates are brought before Masters Yoda and Eula Braylon. The reaction isn't anger so much as deep disappointment. They've broken rules, they've violated trust, and they've proven that the temple security failed. That last point becomes important when Lene Kastana arrives. Kastana isn't just another Jedi Master. Her role within the Order involves locating and studying ancient Sith relics in preparation for their eventual return. When she learns that 2 initiates access the Bogan collection, her concern isn't punishment, it's that the vault was accessible at all. What follows is something Dooku quietly absorbs, a debate between Jedi Masters on whether keeping students from the dark side prepares them to actually confront it. Kastana argues exposure is necessary, others strongly disagree. Dooku and Sifo Dyas aren't part of the conversation, but they're watching it happen. And once again, Dooku sees division inside the Order where unity is supposed to exist. They're assigned to decipher the Lothal Papyri, a collection of agricultural treatises famously used as punishment for misbehaving younglings under Quist's supervision. The book that shouldn't exist. During their punishment, Lene Kastana appears again. She's amused that Yoda still uses the same texts as discipline, jokingly calling him a goblin. Sifo Dyas laughs it off. Dooku does not. He takes offence, not just because of Yoda's authority, but because he already suspects Kastana doesn't treat the rules the same way others do. As she leaves, Sifo Dyas discovers she slipped him something, a fragment of the bestiary of Caldot. This isn't a neutral historical record, it's a Sith-altered compendium detailing warbeast used by Sith and their attributes. The Jedi acquired it long ago and locked it away. Dooku immediately urges Sifo to report it. This is exactly how boundaries are crossed, and he knows it. Sifo refuses. This whole situation, especially the fact that a Jedi is handing out darkside artifacts, deeply disturbed Dooku. Accusation on the Contemplation balcony. From this point on, Dooku's thoughts begin circling one conclusion. Lena Kastana might be a Sith, or at least dangerously close to becoming one. He confronts her directly on the Contemplation balcony, demanding to know why she gave Sifo Dyas a Sith text. Kastana explains it was a test, meant to trigger dormant Force memories connected to one of Dooku's earlier visions. Dooku doesn't accept that explanation. Through the Force, he senses deep frustration and anger within her. To him, that confirms everything. Tests don't require secrecy, and Jedi Masters shouldn't feel like this. The confrontation escalates into a duel. Kastana deliberately goads him, using the story of Darth Sakya, a fictional Sith, and draws attention to Dooku's curved-hilt lightsaber by comparing it to Sakya's weapon. She also reveals something she shouldn't know unless she's been watching him closely. She knows about his connection to the Tirataka. What begins as a lesson turns into something she can't control. Dooku launches into a furious series of attacks that steadily break through her defences. The duel only ends when Yoda intervenes, calming Dooku and forcing him to see that he leapt to conclusions. Yoda then turns his disappointment toward Kastana, chastising her for repeatedly testing initiates with the darkside exposure. For the first time, Dooku sees the Grand Master draw a line, the mentor he wasn't supposed to have. After everything that's happened, Dooku's reaction is unexpected. He begins spending more time with Lena Kastana. Rather than rejecting her methods, he's drawn to her work studying the dark side, her theories about the Sith's eventual return, and her willingness to confront uncomfortable truths that the Order prefers to ignore. He even takes interest in her pet convor, Farana, treating it as part of her larger worldview. Nearly every time Kastana returns to the temple from missions, Dooku seeks her out. His first exposure to darkside artifacts didn't corrupt Dooku overnight, but it permanently changed how he viewed the Jedi and their relationship with forbidden knowledge. The Order hid the darkside, studied it in secret, and punished all for curiosity. All the while, masters like Lena Kastana prepared for its eventual return. Once Dooku noticed that contradiction, he began to notice a lot more issues with the Jedi. Let me know if you want to follow up on Dooku's early life. There's a lot more to get through. And if you're enjoying these videos, hit subscribe and let's discover the galaxy's greatest secrets together. Thanks for watching.